Custom AI Companion from Zoom is an add-on license to be able to help organizations better personalize and customize the way AI works for them and their environment as well as their employees. It's significant because AI adoption in the enterprise has actually been quite slow. Organizations are trying to understand how it can be utilized. Employees are trying to figure out how it works in their personal life is different than the way in which it works in their traditional workflows. And one lack of maybe knowledge or awareness or skill set of AI is really also preventing the ability for AI to grow inside of the workplace. And what's really great about Custom AI Companion is that everyone doesn't have to be an AI expert to get the benefit of AI. Organizations can define an ideal process and then use AI to be able to work perfectly within that process to automate some of its uses. A good example of that might be customizing the way in which a meeting summary is generated for a business or a specific department, or even down to a specific user for a specific meeting type. The goal is to be able to create it perfectly once and then deploy it and then let AI do the work for you. So let me show you an example of that. So inside of the administrative web portal, you now have the ability to go to AI Studio. Now, most organizations on a paid account should have access to this already. They can click on custom meeting templates and they can build out a custom template right here inside of the admin view. Now, it's very simple. You can pick and choose one of these templates. It's in the system here. So let's just pick, say, project management or product update, for example. And let's use this template. And in this case, we'll call this test. And I can define that template, the new summary, and then I can choose who I want to give access to. We'll just leave it as the entire account for now because we're not going to publish this one. And let's say the normal summaries are really good, but maybe you have a particular process that you use inside of your business that maybe you always review the previous project meeting. So let's add a section and let's call it previous project meeting summary. Let's say overview. And I can say summarize the beginning of the meeting and provide a quick summary on the update from the last project meeting. All right. Now, obviously, I'd probably write that a little bit better, but let's bring this to the top because that's the order of things. And let's just make it short in this case. And we can test right inside of the admin window. What's happening now is the system is generating a mock transcript that would align with the prompts that you have in this quick custom summary to be able to test it. Now, once that's generated, it'll show here in the system, and you'll also have the ability to be able to pick and choose your own meetings inside the system to be able to apply it and test it in a few different scenarios to make sure that it works as well as you intended and that you don't have any additional changes. Because after you go through this, and you can view now, so here's a quick update. We put it as short. If I made this longer, I could change the formatting of it, put it in tables, bulleted list, however I wanted to do that. Here's where I would test my own meeting. So I could just simply select from a meeting that I have on my existing environment. And then once I've done through this whole process, I can publish that. I'm not going to do this one because I want to show you another example. So I also can create this from scratch. So let's say from scratch, we will come in here and put a prompt that says, meeting summary for a sales call that captures the customer's primary challenge and anything they have attempted to do in order to solve that challenge. Provide sales coaching on how the sales rep can better improve their sales discovery questions, including any important missed questions during the meeting. So I think it's important to understand here that what's happening now is AI is going to work to build that initial template for you, and then you can modify it. But what's important to understand here is we're not just summarizing the information that was discussed inside the meeting. That's pretty simple, and I can change that format to anything I want. But we can actually take the text that's from that meeting and actually use generative AI to create content that was not a part of that meeting. And this is a really good example. So we'll call this again test. and we'll make it live. Now, one of the things that I want to make sure that I do is build this out in a way that it's very usable for me. So I like separating primary challenges versus additional challenges. So let's figure out a smart way to do that. So here inside of customer challenges, I can click on this plus button and it adds a section. So let's call this top section primary challenge. And then we'll call this all other challenges, right? And we'll put a prompt in here that says, list each of the additional challenges or pain points mentioned during the meeting in addition to the primary challenge listed above. Provide the output in a table so we can dictate exactly what it should look like and why, with the challenge in the first column and the impact to the business in the second column. Obviously, very powerful way to be able to visually present information to make it easily digestible. Now, I can continue to modify this. Let's say, for example, we want to get down here for previous solutions, list all or list of attempted solutions, their outcomes. Let's, I like that a lot. Let's say provide a detailed bulleted list of all attempts instead though. So let's make that a bulleted list, and we'll go ahead and test this, right? So what's happening now is, again, the system's generating a mock transcript that's going to create the environment that would allow you to be able to test this particular meeting summary. Now, I've already created one that essentially goes into the same depth that we did here. So let me show you what that looks like. So inside of the desktop application, I can go into Calendar and I can go to a meeting. In this case was a sales meeting that we had. And I can look at that detail meeting page. Now, right there, I can see the summary. I can see the primary challenges, the additional challenges, and I can select anything I want here. So I can choose, let's go back to the general template as an example. And the transcript that's attached to this meeting is allowing us to be able to rerun that, custom summary to be able to go back and look at that general template. So if I delete that and go back to our custom template, you can see it gives me a nice detailed customer challenge, the additional challenges where it lists the challenge and then the business impact of that challenge. We asked for any attempts that they've made to be listed in bullet points. I did some further editing on this version where I wanted them to include the list of key questions and the answers from that prospect, the missed opportunities. What did we miss out on? What we could have done better in this particular sales discovery to ensure that we're continuing to develop. Additional information needed. These are things that would have been nice to know to progress the sales opportunity. And even down to coaching recommendations. So we're leveraging knowledge from within the large language model to make suggestions on what maybe they could have done to be able to improve. So that way their next discovery call is even more effective. Now you can, and this is now since run, and you can see that example in the test. I would just simply publish that when it's time. Now, I also can schedule my meeting ahead of time and have it set up so it automatically runs this. So I click on schedule a meeting and I go through the process and schedule that meeting. Well, one of my options is meeting summary template. So I can pick that, choose the sales discovery coaching template. I can even select this change default summary option. And now from this point on, the default option will be this more customized summary. Now in this case, this is purpose-built for a specific discovery call, so we're likely not going to choose that discovery coaching for my default, but perhaps maybe if you and your organization really focus as a sales organization on MEDPIC or MEDIC or spin selling, you can create a custom summary that will allow you to be able to get that consistent in order output every single time you have your meeting. Thank you, and I hope this helps you understand how you can more streamline, customize the way in which summaries work for you after your meeting is over.